Rim Fishermen's Association, the group that got really outraged at the toxic 1971 spill of PCBs into the Scaminaci River. Just correct one thing you said, when the bay has not gotten better, it's actually gotten worse. The Health Department issues a fish advisory every year, and every year since 2002, the advisory started in the Scaminaci River, then it moved into north of I-10, then 2015 it now covers the entire bay, a toxic fish advisory for PCBs, which are toxic. Unfortunately, it only says mullet. Everybody knows that anything else in that water is also toxic, but that's another issue, and that's not why I'm here. Why I'm here is just quickly give you an update of what I focused on, what can be done. I apologize, I've got a nice slide presentation to go in the computer. I brought my memory stick. Then I found out I should have brought handouts and my printer ink died. So, I got one picture. I'll pass that around. In 2012, we had a huge rainstorm here. And a lot of you probably remember that. And unfortunately, there were properties near me. This is on the Scaminaci Bay. You'll just take that and pass it around. Okay. This is one near Diane. Same thing in 2012. People were bringing red clay on the waterfront properties. I'll start from this side for you guys. And when I moved here, I noticed the same thing that Linda alluded to. I was born on a Navy base in World War II. I left in 1967, a pristine area. I came back 32 years later to find my bay is dead. And I wanted to, what can I do about it? One of the things that we talk about is seagrasses, and seagrasses didn't exist. And one of the things that kills seagrasses is red clay silt, any silt. Because silt, unlike sand, gets right on the bottom and it smothers out the sunlight so the seagrasses can't live. So my focus said, I can do something. And I'm going to work on the red clay. After a lot of yelling and screaming and whatever, got the zoning board to approve some ordinance changes. Because I couldn't believe, why would the island not allow red clay, but every other body of water in Santa Rosa County allow red clay on their waterfronts? That made no sense to me. It doesn't make sense to you, right? Why would that be? And it turns out we had no rules against it. So we put in place some rules, and it's called the Land Development Code. They now include the Scaminaci Bay, Blackwater Bay, East Bay, and the basins and bayous in these areas. It's called Zone 2. We're not Zone 1, we're Zone 2. The use of red clay is limited to foundations and dryways for parcels within the adjacent Zone 2. Red clay for driveway construction must be capped within 7 days. Red clay for foundation construction must be capped within 45 days. You can't use it any longer like these people were as a fill. It has to be capped with concrete. Now, my reason for being here is to point out these rules are in place, but they're not being enforced. So I need help from guys like you and gals like you. If you see somebody with red clay being put on waterfront property, call your code enforcement people, and I'm talking Santa Rosa. I don't know what Scaminaci has done, but Santa Rosa, call code enforcement and say, this is not allowed, we want it stopped. And they'll get it removed. The other thing that happened was that I noticed that around construction, they had these things called silk fences. You guys have all seen these little black things and little stakes. After about 3 months, they're laying on the ground, right? Nothing's happening. We have these stormwaters. Every one of these properties, in the pictures I sent around, had a silk fence to keep that red clay to go into it. It didn't work. I'm an engineer, and engineers benchmark places. So I decided I'm going to benchmark and see who has the best soil erosion techniques around. Turns out Georgia does. Georgia relies on Lake Lanier for their drinking water. They're very, very protective, as we know in lawsuits. They're very protective of their water, and they want whenever you have any construction, they don't use just silt fences. They put in a row of hay bales that are staked. They put in the silt fence and another row of hay bales that are staked. It forces the silt fence to stay up and the hay bales to help water. Once again, these rules got put in place here. I came back, I'm annoying, and so they said, yeah, we'll do that. So these rules are also written in here that anything that's waterfront property with construction, they have to use the double hay bale silt fence approach, not just a single silt fence. I was on East Bay, I was on Santa Rosa Sound going down Bay Street this weekend, and lo and behold, there's somebody starting construction on a new home. They had just silt fence up there. We have to call them to claim. We can't let people now violate a rule that got put in place in 2012. Thank you very much, Sean.